According to a new study, many people engaged in virtual sex during the first lockdown. During the first coronavirus lockdown, which began in March 2020, more than half, 53%, of those aged 18 to 59 engaged in some form of virtual sexual activity, such as sexting or watching pornography, according to a survey of more than 6,654 people conducted by UCL, the University of Glasgow, and the National Centre of Social Research. According to the study, men see more pornographic materials than women, with 64% of men reporting they watch sexually explicit material compared to 21% of women. People aged 18 to 24 were more likely to report a shift in their sexual activity, according to the study, which asked individuals questions on their sexual behavior during the first 4 months of lockdown. Approximately 66% of this age group stated that their sexual frequency has decreased over this time. The study also discovered that after lockdown began, more people engaged in sexual activity, with 63% of adults reported having physical sex with someone. Because the bulk of these persons, 76%, were in cohabiting relationships, they were unlikely to have disobeyed the lockdown restrictions. According to the study's authors, the study was designed to represent the British population, but they were limited in quantifying change due to a lack of data on sexual activity before the pandemic began due to a lack of data on sexual activity before the pandemic began due to a lack of data on sexual activity before the pandemic began due to a lack of data on sexual activity before the pandemic began due to a lack of data. Young people were more likely to report having sex less often and being less happy with their sex lives than they had been before lockdown started, Sosik Clifton, joint co-first author, told Sky News of the findings. At least in part, this is due to the fact that young people are less likely to live with partners and were unable to meet sexual partners when prohibitions were in place. Only time will tell whether these changes in sexual behavior during the first lockdown translate into long-term behavior alterations, or whether there is airbound effect where people make up for lost time.